Hi guys, Lindsay here. So for today's practice, I'm going to take you through some foot practices to help kind of loosen up and find some more suppleness in the feet. And these are not necessarily standalone practices. These are great practices to do before you go into any standing practices, particularly that focus on the hips. This will help improve the biomechanical relationship between the ankles, the knees, and the pelvis. So without further ado, let's get into some practice. So I have a yoga tune-up ball. It's just a small rubber ball. If you don't have something like this, you can use a tennis ball or even like a wooden dowel. And we're going to come up to standing to roll out the feet. So using whatever you have, and my upper body is going to come off screen, so just bear with me here. And you can spend a couple minutes rolling out the soles of the feet. So starting with the heel, doing the inside arches and the outside edge. And you are in control of how much pressure you put between your foot and the ball. I also like to go over my toes or under my toes. And then after a minute or two, you can switch sides. So I'm not going to do it for a full time, but if you want to put the video on pause so you can go a little bit longer and then follow along, do that. I find things like a golf ball or a lacrosse ball don't really have any give, and those can be really hard and can potentially bruise the bottom of the feet. So if you're using something like that, just be really mindful and be careful with how much you press down. Yeah. Good. So after you've rolled out your feet, come to standing in a mountain pose for a moment, feeling into the center of the heels, the base of the big toes, and the base of the baby toes. And as you feel, just notice what sensations are present in your feet, up through your legs and your hips. And then so for the next couple practices that I show you, you can sit in a chair or you can sit on the floor. You might want to bring yourself up a little bit higher, maybe sitting on a bolster, so you can decide what works best for you. So we're going to start with the ankle. I'm just kind of figure out which is the best angle for you to see here. So we're going to bring our hand onto cupping the heel and holding onto the top of the foot. And we're going to move the ankle or move the foot side to side. Okay, and you can see how my lower leg's not moving. Let me try from another angle as well. So I'm just going side to side. Just holding onto the heel, side to side. If you notice that there's a lot of movement through the leg, go a little bit softer, a little bit smaller with your manual movement. So we're just passively moving the foot. If you're feeling strain through the knee, it could just mean you're doing too much. So maybe slow down the movement, go a little bit smaller, a little bit softer. Good. And then we're going to hold on to the base of the big toe and the base of the baby toe. And we're going to supinate and rotate the foot. So kind of this access point right here, we're going to rotate around that. So you can see now that my ankle's not moving. And we're just kind of creating a little bit more suppleness through the foot. And this can make a big difference in terms of how our feet connect with our ankles, our knees, and our hips, which can have an impact on how we walk and how we run. Good. And if you want to do a little bit more, you can do some self-massage on the soles of the feet. Maybe interlacing the fingers between the toes. Get Getting the little squeeze, circling the toes around. There's tons and tons of practices for the feet. Okay. Good. Let's switch sides. So holding on, cupping your ankle with your hand, and we're moving the ankle side to side. So the leg and the knee are nice and quiet. And notice how my toes are not getting involved, right? They're not doing anything crazy. They're not tensing up. I'm just using my hand to move through the ankle joint side to side. Yeah. Good. And then the next one we did was holding the base of the big toe, base of the baby toe right at the sides, and then we're rotating the foot side to side. If it feels really stiff, just be really gentle. So we're just gently coaxing movement. So the gentler you are, the faster the muscles will start to respond. So if you're really aggressive and you're really forcing it, the muscles, the fascia is just going to tense up. Just be really gentle. Taking good care of your feet. Yeah. And then just give your toes and your feet a little rub. All right. And then interlacing your fingers in between the toes. So I think on the other side, I use my fingers coming in from the top. On this side, I'm coming in from the bottom. You can do either or both and. And just folding the toes forward and back, and in little circles. All right, and so after you are finished working on your feet, you can come back up to standing, and then again, feel into the 3 points of your feet. Let's do this together. And notice what you feel. The feet might feel more alive, there might be more sensation. Maybe there's a greater awareness into parts of your legs, your hips, or maybe even your low back, which I always find really interesting because we haven't really done any work with our legs or our hips. And yet simply by working on the feet, it can have impact further up the chain. So try those couple exercises, see what you notice, and have fun exploring.